Hey Yankees fans, welcome to Yankees Rumors and News, your go-to spot for the latest buzz and updates about our team. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a scoop. The New York Yankees, fresh off re-signing Cody Bellinger in a deal that turned heads across Major League Baseball, may not be done flexing their commitment to keeping key pieces in the lineup. And one name that has emerged as a potential focus this offseason is none other than Jazz Chisholm. CBS Sports recently highlighted the intriguing possibility of the Yankees extending Chisholm. And for anyone who has followed his career, it's an idea that carries both excitement and a hint of complexity. Mike Axisa, in his latest column, laid out a list of 10 players on expiring contracts who he considers candidates for extensions. And Jazz Chisholm's name stood out immediately, entering his third season with the Yankees. Chisholm has developed a strong rapport with the organization, and the chemistry between player and franchise is something that cannot be overlooked. When considering the long-term picture for the Bronx Bombers, Axisa meticulously weighed the pros and cons, acknowledging that while the extension may not be guaranteed, it's certainly on the Yankees' radar. The team's history with extending players has often been conservative, but Chisholm represents a unique case. The discussion begins with the context of the Yankees' general philosophy toward contract extensions. Traditionally, the Yankees have been cautious with long-term deals, particularly with players who are yet to hit their peak or who have a track record of inconsistency. However, Chisholm, who is entering the prime of his career, presents an opportunity that aligns perfectly with the team's current needs. Left-handed hitters have historically thrived at Yankee Stadium, and Chisholm, with his dynamic bat and versatility in the infield, fits that mold exceptionally well. Axisa points out that the middle infield market is notoriously thin over the next several seasons. The pool of quality players available either through free agency or trade is limited, and the cost of acquiring a comparable talent through a trade would be staggering. By considering Chisholm for an extension now, the Yankees could secure a vital piece without facing the uncertainty and financial strain of chasing alternatives once the off-season frenzy is in full swing. The timing, as Axisa notes, could not be more ideal. Chisholm has expressed a desire to stay in New York long-term, and the mutual interest creates a foundation upon which a smart, mutually beneficial deal could be built. One of the most significant considerations in any extension talk is the benchmark for contracts of similar players, and in this regard, Willie Adams' recent deal with the San Francisco Giants provides an interesting reference point. Adams, formerly of the Milwaukee Brewers, signed a 7-year contract worth $182 million. A figure that immediately makes any comparison feel dramatic, while it is unlikely that Chisholm will land exactly that amount. Axisa uses it as a baseline to illustrate the scale of contracts being handed to high-impact middle infielders in today's market. The Yankees, of course, are no strangers to large contracts, as the recent Bellinger deal reminded fans and analysts alike. While Bellinger's contract negotiations were a saga that few wish to relive in detail, it does set a precedent for the team's willingness to invest heavily in players who fit their vision. Chisholm's talent is arguably on par with the Dames in certain respects, though the Yankees will likely calibrate expectations and structure any potential deal in a way that aligns with both the team's payroll strategy and Chisholm's perceived value. At 28 years old, Chisholm is entering the phase of his career where he can command a substantial contract, but he also brings the excitement of growth potential and marketability that the Yankees value highly. Looking ahead, the 2026 season will likely serve as a critical barometer for Chisholm's future with the Yankees. If he continues to produce at the level he has shown in his first 2 seasons, the case for an extension becomes increasingly compelling. His slash line of .2 for 2, .33 to .481 last year, while modest in raw batting average, tells only part of the story. His on-base plus slugging percentage, which neared a career high, and his incredible 4.2 wins above replacement demonstrate his impact on the field in a way that traditional stats might not fully capture. For the Yankees, maintaining control over a player who contributes so significantly to both offense and defense could be a strategic masterstroke, particularly given the missed opportunities in recent years with free agent targets like Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette. The luxury of keeping talent in-house cannot be overstated in a league where the competition for elite middle infielders is fierce and often unpredictable. Chisholm's versatility, combined with his proven ability to thrive in New York's hitter-friendly environment, makes him an asset that the Yankees may be inclined to secure. before the broader market begins its scramble for comparable talent. The potential extension also carries implications. Beyond pure statistics and financial considerations, Chisholm has quickly become a fan favorite. Known not just for his production but for his charisma, energy, and flair on the field. His presence resonates with the Yankee fanbase, who value players that embody both skill and a certain unmistakable personality that matches the intensity of Yankee Stadium. From a cultural standpoint, keeping Chisholm could reinforce a sense of continuity in the clubhouse, particularly as the team navigates transitions and seeks to maintain its competitive edge in the American League East. Axis's analysis emphasizes that the Yankees are in a unique position to act decisively, potentially locking down a prime infielder who complements the existing roster, while avoiding the risk of losing him to another team at a premium cost. The narrative is compelling: a player in his prime, a stadium that accentuates his strengths, a front office capable of making strategic investments, and a fanbase ready to embrace him. Financially, the Yankees must balance the allure of a long-term deal with the practicalities of payroll management, while comparisons to Bellinger and Adams provide a framework. The negotiation would require careful calibration to avoid overcommitting resources in a way that might limit flexibility in future seasons. Chisholm's age and projected trajectory, however, provide confidence that he represents a wise investment, one that could yield dividends both on and off the field. The discussion around Willie Adams' money may serve as a talking point, but the reality is that Chisholm brings a unique combination of skills, marketability, and team fit that warrants serious consideration. Any deal would need to reflect his current value while anticipating continued growth, striking a balance between immediate impact and long-term potential. Ultimately, the decision to pursue an extension with Jazz Chisholm will hinge on both performance and timing. The Yankees have a chance to act before the free agent market becomes congested, a proactive move that could save them significant resources and secure a cornerstone player in the process. Chisholm's love for New York, coupled with his on-field excellence, presents an opportunity that aligns with the Yankees' objectives of building a championship-contending roster. The story is still unfolding, and while nothing is guaranteed, the pieces are in place for what could be a transformative moment for both player and franchise. With the 2026 season approaching, fans will be watching closely to see if Chisholm can deliver the kind of performance that makes an extension not just desirable, but almost inevitable in a league where timing, talent, and opportunity intersect in unpredictable ways. Jazz Chisholm may very well be the player the Yankees choose to lock in, keeping one of the brightest stars in their infield firmly within the pinstripes and setting the stage for a thrilling next chapter in New York baseball. If you're enjoying the updates, drop a like and let us know in the comments your thoughts on this rumor. Hold on to your seats, because the baseball world might be on the brink of one of the most shocking and jaw-dropping trades in recent memory. Rumors are swirling through the Major League Baseball grapevine that the New York Yankees are seriously considering putting some of their top-tier talent on the table. And when I say top-tier, I mean the kind of players who define a franchise. And all of this, sources say, could be in pursuit of a single name that sends chills down the spine of any baseball fan: Juan Jose Soto Pacheco. Yes, you heard that right, Juan Soto, the Dominican powerhouse, the man who has terrorized pitchers across multiple leagues, could be making a sensational return to the Big Apple. The very thought of Soto donning pinstripes again has fans buzzing like never before, igniting debates, dreams, and sleepless nights for Yankees loyalists and rival supporters alike. Now, let's paint a picture of what this might entail. Juan Soto is not just any player. We are talking about a 6-time Silver Slugger Award winner, a 4-time All-Star, a young legend whose name has become synonymous with hitting excellence and poise beyond his years. His career has already taken him through a fascinating journey, from breaking onto the scene with the Washington Nationals to electrifying moments with the San Diego Padres, and eventually, yes, the New York Yankees. Soto's presence in any lineup is a seismic event, and the whispers of a return to New York have the potential to reshape not just the Yankees roster, but the entire balance of power in Major League Baseball. Imagine the energy in Yankee Stadium when he steps up to the plate again, the roar of the crowd, the sheer anticipation of seeing one of the most feared hitters in the league reclaim his pinstripe legacy. Sources close to the team are suggesting that the Yankees are willing to go all in, which, in practical terms, means putting multiple starting players on the negotiation table. This is not a casual rumor or the typical off-season speculation. Insiders are hinting that the Yankees front office is prepared to part with some of their most valuable assets. To make this dream a reality, we're talking about a strategic gamble of enormous proportions, where the team might risk short-term depth for long-term dominance, all in the hope of bringing Soto back into the fold. The mere idea of this trade has already sparked intense discussions among analysts, with some calling it a masterstroke of bold ambition, while others warn of the potential consequences of losing key contributors who have been pillars of the current roster. What makes this speculation even more tantalizing is the timing. Juan Soto is at the peak of his powers, combining youthful agility with an almost uncanny ability to read pitches, anticipate swings, and deliver in high-pressure moments. He's the type of player who doesn't just contribute to victories, he redefines them. His on-base percentage, his plate discipline, his uncanny knack for hitting in clutch situations, these are traits that few players in the league can match. The Yankees, as we all know, are no strangers to aggressive moves, but the thought of leveraging multiple starting players for a single star like Soto underscores just how serious they might be. It's a statement of intent, a bold message to the rest of the league. New York is not here to play it safe. They are here to dominate, and they are willing to bet big to do it, of course. The logistics of such a trade are anything but simple. Negotiations of this magnitude involve not just talent evaluation, but also contract considerations, team chemistry, and the ripple effects on every position across the roster. But if the Yankees are indeed serious, insiders suggest that the discussions have already reached a level of intensity rarely seen outside of blockbuster trade scenarios. Imagine the front office meetings, the phone calls between general managers, the strategy sessions where each move is dissected, analyzed, and debated with surgical precision. Every potential deal is scrutinized for risk and reward, and every scenario considered. Because bringing Juan Soto back to New York would not just be a trade, it would be a seismic shift in the narrative of the league. For fans, this is the kind of rumor that ignites imagination. Picture a Yankees lineup featuring Soto alongside some of the franchise's most formidable hitters. A combination of raw power, precision, and relentless competitiveness. The mere possibility of facing opposing pitchers with that kind of firepower is enough to keep fans glued to every update, every tweet, every subtle hint dropped by insiders. Social media is already ablaze with speculation, debates, and fantasy scenarios, and you can bet that if this trade happens, the reaction will be explosive. Both in the stadium and online, the Yankees' brand of baseball, characterized by intensity, history, and an insatiable hunger for championships, could reach an entirely new level of excitement. But let's not forget the human side of this potential blockbuster. Juan Soto himself has experienced several transitions in his young but illustrious career, moving from team to team, city to city, each move leaving its own mark on him and the fans who have followed his journey. Returning to New York would carry an emotional weight, a narrative arc that resonates far beyond statistics and box scores. There's something inherently dramatic about a star returning to a city where he has previously left an impression, the kind of storyline that sports media lives for and fans cherish. The speculation alone, even before any official announcement, is enough to capture the imagination of everyone from casual viewers to die-hard aficionados. Of course, as with all rumors, nothing is guaranteed. Trades of this magnitude are notoriously complex, and until the ink is dry on any official agreement, the baseball world will remain in suspense. Yet the mere possibility that the Yankees might reunite with one of the game's brightest stars has already created a narrative that is impossible to ignore. Analysts are weighing the pros and cons. Fans are imagining dream lineups, and the league itself is bracing for the potential fallout of a move that could redefine rivalries, playoff dynamics, and the trajectory of several careers. Every conversation about the Yankees now seems to circle back to the same question: could Juan Soto be returning to New York? And if so, what will the ripple effect be across Major League Baseball? In the end, this rumor, whether it comes to fruition or not, has already achieved something remarkable. It has captured the imagination of fans, analysts, and insiders alike, creating a sense of anticipation and excitement rarely seen outside of the most dramatic moments in sports history. The New York Yankees, by considering such a bold move, have once again positioned themselves at the center of the baseball universe, reminding everyone why every offseason, every trade deadline, and every negotiation can feel like a potential game changer. Whether Juan Soto eventually dies The pinstripes again or not, the conversation alone has ignited a firestorm of speculation. And the baseball world will be watching, waiting, and dreaming alongside them. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date with every Yankees rumor and news. See you in the next video.